Hey guys, this is Jashan Bansal, and in this video I will cover all the concepts that you must know in order to solve the questions related to bit manipulation. The link to the cheat sheet is present in the description. First of all, we'll start with the bitwise operators. What are bitwise operators? The operators that works at bit level are called the bitwise operators. What does it mean? It means if you want to perform the bitwise operation on any numbers, first the numbers will convert into their bitwise form and then the operation will perform on these bits. For example, if we want to perform the bitwise AND operation between the number 20 and 30, first the number 20 and 30 will convert into their bitwise form and then the AND operation will operate on these bits such that if at same position both the bits equal to 1, then their resultant bit will be equal to 1, otherwise it will be 0. As you can see, at first position both the bits are equal to 0, therefore their resultant bit is also equal to 0. And at second position one bit is 0 and other is 1, therefore also their resultant bit is equal to 0. But at the third position both the bits are equal to 1, therefore their resultant bit equal to 1. Next, there are 6 bitwise operators in C++ which are bitwise AND, NOT, OR, XOR, left shift and right shift. It is the precedence table of all the 6 operators of C++. If you can remember this table, it is good, but you can also use parentheses to use them in any way you want. Next, we'll cover all the 6 operators. The first one is bitwise AND operator. As we have already covered it in the example, if both the bits are 1, then the result will be 1. In all the other cases, the result will be equal to 0. The next is bitwise OR operator. In bitwise OR, if any bit is 1, then the result will be 1. As you can see in the first 3 cases, either both the bits are 1 or at least one bit is 1. But in the last case, no bit is 1, therefore the result will be 0. The next is bitwise XOR operator. In this, if both the bits equal to 1, then the result equal to 0, and if both the bits equal to 0, then also the result equal to 0. It means if both the bits equal, then it will produce the resultant bit 0. If both the bits are different, as you can see in the middle two cases, then the resultant bit will be equal to 1. I am covering these operators fast because they are very simple. Next are the properties of XOR operator. The XOR operator and its properties are very important because most of the questions of bit manipulation in programming contests are based on the XOR operation. The first property is A XOR A is equal to 0. It means if we perform the XOR of a number with itself, it will result it to 0. As you can see in the example, if we perform the XOR of 5 with itself, it will result it to 0 because at every position their widths are equal, and we know that if XOR of two equal widths will perform, it will result it to 0. So therefore at every position it will result it to 0. Next is A XOR 0 is equal to A. It means if we perform the XOR of a number with 0, it will result it to the number itself. As you can see in the example, if we do XOR of 1 with 0, then it will be equal to 1. If we do the XOR of a number with 0, it will be equal to 0. Therefore, it will result it to the number itself. Next are the two properties which are commutative and associative. The XOR operator also follows these two properties. If you want to verify them, you can also take example like this on your notebook. Next is NOT operator. What NOT operator does, it just reverses all the bits. By reversing, I mean if at any position the value of the bit is 1, it will convert it to 0, and if at any position the value of the bit is 0, it will convert it to 1. As you can see, at first position the value of the value of bit is 1, it will convert it to 0. At second position the value of bit is 0, it will convert it to 1. Also you have to know that leftmost bit is used to represent the sign, such that if its value is 0, it represents the positive number, and if its value is 1, it represents the negative number. Internally, the negative number is stored in the 2's complement form. You can Google it if you want to explore more about it. Because if I started explaining 2's complement here, it will take 5-10 minutes. The next is left shift and right shift operators. As it is clear from their names, we are shifting the bits. In left shift, we are shifting to the bits to the left, and in right shift, we are shifting the bits to the right. As here you can see, it is the representation of number 5. If we left shift it by 1, all the bits are shifted left by 1. As you can see, this 1 will shift to its second position, this 0 will shift to third position, this one will shift to this position, and the last 0 just get eliminated, and a new 0, a new 0 is inserted at the starting position. Similarly, if we left shift the number by 2, these two bits gets eliminated and new two zeros are inserted at starting position, and every other 30 bits are gets shifted by 2, as this one will shift to this. Also, the left shift operator is same as multiplication by 2 raised to power k. As you can verify here, if we left shift the number 5 by 1, it is same as 5 multiplication by 2. And if we left shift the number 5 by 2, it is same as multiplication of 5 by 2 raised to power 2. Similarly, the right shift operator works. In this, if we shift the bit by 1, every bit just right shifted by 1, as this 0 will shift to this position, this one shift to this position, this one will just get eliminated and new zeros introduced to this. Here only 1 0 is introduced, here 2 0 is introduced, because here we are right shifting by 2 and here 2 bits got eliminated. Right shift is same as divide by 2 raised to power k, as here you can verify. If we right shift 1 by 2, it is same as 5 divided by 2. Also, if we right shift the number by 2, it is same as divided by 5 divided by 2 raised to power 2. Next is we want to set kth bit of a number. For this we have to perform two steps. First, we'll left shift 1 by k minus 1 time and then use the OR operator. You can understand it by this example. If we want to set the third bit in 10, first we shift 1 by k minus 1 times, so that at third position in this number there is 1, and if we perform the OR of this with the given number, you can see in the result its third bit will set to 1. Its collective syntax is here. It is very simple operation. When you practice 2-3 questions on bitwise operators, it will stuck in your mind. Next is we want to unset the kth bit. It is just the opposite of setting the kth bit. To unset the kth bit, first operation is same, but after that we reverses all the bits using the NOT operator and then use the AND operator. You can verify all these and understand more by writing some examples on your notebook. Its collective syntax is here, and here is the example. Let's say we want to insert the second bit in 10. This is the representation of 10, and when we perform left shift 1 by k minus 1 time, this one will become this, and when we reverse all its bits, this one become this. And when we perform AND of this number with this, the result will be this. As you can see at second position, its bit becomes 0, such that we have unset the bit at second position. Next is toggle kth bit. By toggling, I mean if at kth position the bit is 0, I want to convert it to 1, and if at kth position the bit is 1, I want to convert it to 0. For this also the first step is same, but here we have to use the XOR operator. As you can see in the example, if we want to toggle the third bit in 10, we first have to perform the same first step, and when we perform the XOR between them, you can see that here it is 0 and here is 1, and we know if the bits are different in XOR operation, then their resultant bit will be 1. Therefore, here it is 1. But you can also see if there is 1 here and we know that XOR of same bits will be 0, then the result here will be 0. So that basically with the use of XOR operator, we are toggling the kth bit. Next is checking if kth bit is set or not. Here also the first step is same. We are just shifting 1 by k minus 1 time. After that we are performing the AND operation. If this will result into a positive number, then we'll find that it will set, otherwise it is not set. As you can check in the example, if you want to check if fourth bit is set in number 10, we'll first shift the 1 by k minus 1 times and then perform the AND operation. This will result it to 0, not 0, sorry, it is equal to this, which becomes equal to 8, which is true. So we can find that the fourth bit of in 10 is set. Next is checking whether a number is odd or even. You can just use you can just use the ampersand operator and do the binary AND of number with 1. If it is true, then the number is odd, otherwise it is even. As you can check in the example, if a number is odd, then definitely its last bit is equal to 1, and if we perform the AND of this number with 1, it will result it to 1. Also, you can say that you can just use modulus by 2 equal to 0 or 1 to check whether a number is odd or even, but the bitwise operators are way faster than the other modulus operators and arithmetic operators, and these are very simple tricks. You just have to know all these because these are very basic. Next is checking whether a number is even directly. Here we are checking it in the else condition. If we want to directly check whether it is a even or not, we can use this one. By this starting addition, we are checking whether a number is odd or even. As you can see, it is same as this. If the number is odd, this will produce the result as 1. By using this, we are just inverting the result. If it is 1, we are just invert it using the XOR operator. Then it will become 0 and this will not run. If it is 0, this is even number, for that this will be 0 and we invert the result, which will invert the condition to true, and the cout even statement will run. As you can see in the example, we want to check whether the number 10 is even or not by using the bitwise operator. First, we will do the AND between 10 and 1 and it will produce the result as 0, and by XORing this with 1, we are basically inverting the result so that it will become to 1, which is true. Next is checking whether a number is power of 2 or not. For that, this is the basic syntax. To verify that, I have taken two examples. First one is 8. In any number which is a power of 2, if we subtract 1, you can verify that here it is 8 and only one bit is set. If we subtract 1 from this will leads to all the bits right to this set to 1 and all the bits starting from the set bit to 0. And if we perform the AND operation between them, it will also result to 0. And when we use the NOT operator, it just inverts the result. It will convert this 0 to 1, which will become true. Also, as you can verify, if we take the number 9 and subtract 1 from it, here it is 8, and we then perform the AND operation, it will result to this number, which is not 0, and when we perform NOT on this, it will become 0, which is false. Then the number we can say is not a power of 2. Next, I am covering the most important inbuilt methods in C++, which are very handy on questions based on bitwise operators. So there are mainly four methods present in C++. The first one is built-in pop count, second one is built-in parity, third one is CLZ, and fourth one is CTZ. The first one, pop count, just count the number of set bits in a number. The parity one just check whether the number of ones in the bitwise form of a number are even or not. The CLZ just counting the left zeros, and CTZ counting the right zeros. As you can easily understand by this example, I have written the bitwise form of number 10. By pop count, I mean number of set bits. Here only 2 bits are set, 1 and 1. Therefore, the result of first method is equal to 2. In the second, it is checking whether the number of ones in this even or odd. As in this, the number of ones are even, therefore it will result it to 0. If the number of ones are odd, then it will result it to 1. The third method, CLZ, just count the left number of zeros. Here it will count these all zeros, and here the count is 28, therefore it will produce a result at 28. And CTZ, count right zeros, it will count right the zeros, consecutive zeros at the right position. Here only 1 0, therefore it will produce a result as 1. Also, all these methods are also present for long type. You just have to append LL on all the at the end of all the 4 methods. Like here you have to append, and here and here, and this started working for also long type. Next, I have provided the links for very basic questions based on bitwise operators. These are very easy. This one is based on XOR operation. It is very good question if you are a beginner. The next one is power of 4. Similarly, we are as we have checked the power of 2. Similarly, you have to add one more condition to check the power of 4. Next one is generate power set of array. It is very important. You must have to do it for practice. And after that, if you want to explore more, you can search more on Geeks for Geeks, LeetCode and CodeChef for practice. You can use their tags of Bitwise, etc. So that's it. So in case you have any queries, you can ask. In case you have any queries, you can ask in the comment section. Also, please give your valuable feedback in the comment section, as it is my first YouTube video. I know I am not good at explaining, but I am gonna improve in the upcoming videos. Please also like, share and subscribe to my channel. It will motivate me to do more and more videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.